Hey guys, how are you? It's the last class. So welcome.
I'm good. How about you?
Good, good, good. I see that you've all completed um, quest 9, which is pretty cool. And Jiang, thanks for that typo that you emailed me about. And I never noticed it, and nobody picks up until you brought it up. Yeah, so there was a spurious endif at the end of the starter code for quest number 6, and GX sent me an email about it, and I was quite surprised to see it myself. How did it get in there? Because I must have copied and pasted the whole file, unless I didn't copy the whole file, and I left out a whole lot of initial stuff. Then I might have missed the hash if def also. I don't know how that happened, but thank you anyway, Gian. So anyway, welcome to class. And hey, George, yeah, I saw that you also, and Gerald, both of you submitted your quest 9. And Anne is on her way there. Hey, Anne, you haven't finished 9 yet, yes?
Wait, sorry, is that for me?
Yeah.
I just haven't posted it.
But
because
you have actually finished it. You just haven't posted.
Yeah, because my the draggy thing doesn't necessarily work all the time for me. So
what doesn't work?
The draggy.
Oh, the drag and drop part?
Yeah, 9. Does that make sense?
Are you talking about how you can move the nodes?
Yeah, like that. That does.
Oh, all right. Yeah. But yeah. Don't worry. I just wanted to know if you were already on quest 9. So I think that everybody here is on quest, has completed or is on quest 9, which is fantastic. And day after Thursday is our final exam. So I'm quite psyched to see all of you march forward to like this. And so I yesterday I was spending some time doing up the 2C syllabus for the winter quarter and for the spring quarter, because I see that most of you are in fact enrolled. So this quarter, I'm going to experiment with something like only 45 points for the red quests, but you'll get 15 points for all of the green quests, which will be due in 1 week, 7 days, and I think 5 points for all of the blue quests, which should be due in 2 days. Because technically I'm thinking, and you guys should correct me if I'm wrong, that if when you're ready to go into 2C, if you can now imagine yourself back in your 2A days and think that you have all these 2A quests to complete, the blue quests to complete, in your mind, does it seem reasonable that 2 whole days is enough for you to just get through all of the blue? Because I can ask you now that you're very close to completing or having completed green already, 2 whole days, because I'm thinking you don't have any challenges at all until quest 9, right? Many of them are just vector manipulations. The only thing you might have to think a little bit about is binary search, maybe, right? Everything else is a pretty standard iterative algorithm. No or not?
What I think would be a good idea is saying like maybe 2 days after like the quarter starts, but I would definitely like give students a heads up like you did this quarter, because that it took me a very long time. Like it took me like I think a week and a half. I don't remember.
No. That's why, Jason, don't think about how long it took you. Okay, that's a wrong reference point. Okay,
that is a bad reference point, but like for some, if like I'm assuming this is someone who this would be the person we're talking about would be someone who has never taken your class before.
No. Here is the correct reference point. Okay, the correct reference point is you at this time. Okay, basically you are preparing to get into 2C. Yes, so you need to have a certain level of skills. So the question you should ask is, forget about everybody else and a random student out there. I am entering 2C and I am comfortable with doing all the blue quests. How long will it take me on average if I were to sit down today?
So like
right?
that, like
today. today, Jason?
Today I could probably do them in like maybe a day or two, probably. So that
Good.
does seem
Okay.
accurate.
All right. Okay. So my guess was right. Okay. So 2 days after the quarter starts, we'll say blue quests. You expect to finish all of the blue quests, and you get 5 points for that. And I'm going to make blue and green also essential because 7 days after the 9 days after the quarter starts, if people haven't finished green, then you can still drop them before census day. And this would be one of the required tasks, completing blue and green in order to continue on in 2C. So I think this is plenty of time, first 9 days, to work through blue and green. So the guys who've already done it, you guys will probably have an edge. But you can use that edge to answer your new classmates in the forums, in the blue and green forums. Yeah, so you can tell them that I was already a student of the questing system, so I know I've done these quests before, and if you're stuck, I can help you. I'm your 2C classmate, right? So you can help out in the corresponding forums, and of course you can feel free to make progress on your own red trail too, because the red trail is fairly challenging. You got to get started, and in fact, you may as well get started right now, because most of you are done with your green. So you may as well start. You have the password to the first red quest. So over the spring break, maybe, right? So as you're enjoying your cocktail by the beach, you can basically just be coding on your laptop also, okay? So, because you have very bright screens these days. So you can code on the beach too. So it's kind of cool. So yeah, please get started and get ready to start helping people, because now I see that not only the 2B students and other students are also starting to register in the 2C section, the ones that haven't been in my 2B. And some of them haven't been my past students, in students at all. So we just want to make sure that I have to make sure the syllabus is done quickly enough so I can get it in the hands of all students as quickly as possible, so they can all start questioning. And hopefully you're also all on the sidelines to help where necessary, as you're making your way through the red trail. So yeah, I'm very pleased. I'm very pleased to see all of you here back again today. Technically, there is no class really because it's week 12, isn't it? Those of you, very few, right, who haven't done quest number 6 yet. Okay, but there are a few who have not yet completed quest 6. Now, here's what I would suggest. Okay, quest 9 at this point is off limits to them. Okay, they should not blow forward and just say, I'm going to magically turn up with these solutions 1 per day. Bam, 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 bam. Right? I don't think it speaks to any level of evidence of mastery of skills if they just, blindly submit these solutions that keep working. So I think the only way, however, these people should not fail. So try and get the word out that I will still accept their efforts for a pass for sure. Okay, C+ at least. If they get to quest 6 before the final. Okay, they should aim to finish quest number 6. What is quest 6? Is this yeah,
it's the
yeah,
octopus.
octopus, yeah. So they should finish quest 6. Okay, please get the word out that if they finish quest 6, I will give them at least a C+. But quest 9 is off limits to them because I want people to just focus on the final, right? And study hard for it and master all the concepts and get ready for 2C and beyond, because there is a whole ocean in front of you to be discovered, and you got to pick up the momentum, and this is the right time. So I have the other guys pass, pick up the pass, and then if they complete the quests, remaining quests in their own time, they can still come back and do 2C. Okay, I will give them an ad code anytime. Anytime anyone's completed all of the 2B quests before the quarter starts, they get an ad code for, even if they've not been my past student. Even if you don't have the prereqs for 2C. If you've done all of this, I'm happy to write a recommendation to the dean or the chair to say that I'm convinced enough to waive the prerequisites, and then you can just continue on. So just let people know that if they get through all of this, they can register in 2C. I'm happy to. and you guys will be there too, right? And all of you helping around, and it's much more fun, I think. I was thinking back to when I was a student. It was always fun for me to move with the class. And when my kids, not high school, right, when they went to college, they didn't have classmates that moved with them. Very few, right? Many of them keep branching off, and you only intersect with the same classmates, in the odd classes. And I don't know, and it was a great deal of fun for me to move with the class, and because whole class goes from one. So I think that the fact that many of you are also going to be in 2C is actually great, because now you get to enjoy yourself for a whole semester now, not a whole quarter. 3 months is nothing at all, right? And eventually you'll discover all these tracks, right? I think they call them guided pathways. That's a new terminology that Foothill has come up with, which is actually a cool word too, right? But people should not mistake that as being, fenced pathways. Okay, so I enter a pathway, I can, switch places. But that's really bad. In fact, Ram has been very mindful to point that out many times, that the team doesn't fall into the trap of, making students think that they are trapped into a pathway. But that's what it is. It's a path, but you'll discover many of these trails. These are guided, trails like the blue trail and the green trail and the red trail, where we have guides who tell you where the safe places are, so you don't get null pointer errors, okay, and end up frustrated with C++. So there are many such trails at Foothill, and then you'll start discovering them. And then once you discover these trails, it's actually fun to join up with a group that is going in the same trail, right? Think about it. Anytime you go to a national park or a trail, it's fun sometimes to go off on your own and discover new things, and and be on your own, right? But many times it's also fun to go with a group. Yes, because many times they point out things that you haven't seen, right? And then you have a nice conversation along the way and things like that. So so part of the fun, so yeah, that's what I mean. A part of the fun of going to college is also to identify with a group like that, and then start moving with them through the entire trail, so that you don't hop trails many times. And then if you hop trails, it's really hard, even for an extremely extroverted person, to spend enough time with all these different people, to be involved in so many different lives. But with groups, you'll find it much easier, I think, right? So I hope to have the same bunch of students. That's where I'm going, right? I hope to have the same bunch of students who start with me in cs2a, and try and you can tell other people to enroll in my cs2a too. And then the whole bunch can move forward, and especially since they're going to get credit for 2B, blue gets credit in green gets credit in red. Okay, they'll all be moving through, and they'll all be helping each other. It'll be a sense of community, and who knows, at the end of 2C, you'll all be so solid with your knowledge of 2C that you may even be willing to start a company together, with all the skills you've built, and you also tackled problems together and helped each other around. So you view each other as equal peers, and you're able to brainstorm effectively and discover teams and cliques that work. So you'd say, well, that's fantastic. Why don't we do this idea, right? And you also know what the skills are and what each person is capable of bringing to the table. We can build a kick-ass product out there, okay? And so I'm very happy for you to, branch out like that at the end. And I would be happy to, depending on the idea, happy to guide you or, finance you or things like that. So, so I'm, so if the same team moves all the way through, it also gives me greater visibility into what each one is capable of, and how they mesh with the other people, right? And that would be an absolutely fantastic skill. Because right now you're also training up to be really solid engineers too, right? Knowledgeable in the craft of doing things and putting things together and getting things done. So now is probably the time to also say, okay, that's fantastic. That's the other thing to know is also to be able to explain and help other people, because there's now is the time to learn. Well, now that you can move forward, now you can start measuring your velocity and say, well, that's the maximum I can go at. So in order to get to the next level, I need 2 people rowing in the same direction. Okay. So, but that getting that visibility too early on in 2A is I don't think it helps, because 2A, everybody needs to be more confident of themselves and say, yeah, okay, I'm confident enough with C++. Now I can start talking to other people and get, so 2B, the end of 2B, I think is the right time to think about those things. So thank you all for sticking around, and I really admire the perseverance that I have seen from some of you, okay, and helping each other and crossing the finish line. 2B is actually one of, I think, right? I've not only have I taught many courses, I've also been a student in many of classes. Every class has interesting aspects, but I think 2B is also one of the challenging courses, right? It also has interesting aspects, I'm sure, okay? But it is a challenging course. And it is as challenging as, let's say, learning a skill like ceramics, where it takes a long time, right? 3 months, Andy works miracles, right? 3 months is very hard for someone to develop muscle memory, okay? Maybe very, very young people do that. Muscle memory for getting the feel of clay and things like that. Unless you actually have, Andy used to say in ceramics, they used to have an open studio, and I used to encourage students to even come outside of class, play with the clay and do these things and get the feel for it, right? Otherwise, 3 months is no time at all. You can't, I don't know where I was going with that, but programming also is like that, okay? So cs2b, and then you, marinate in it for an entire 3 quarters. Well, I don't know how we got started talking about that, yeah, but I'm very pleased with the perseverance you have shown. And 2B is one of the challenging courses because it is exactly the same. That's where I was going with Andy's courses, because 3 months it takes a lot of effort just going to the studio. And ask any student who's been to our ceramics classes, okay? And they will tell you exactly the same thing, because I have been a student there, and I know, right? If you just go to Andy's classes, and he tells you that too, right? If you just go to his classes, you're not going to learn pottery, right? You're not going to learn ceramics, because 2 hours or whatever, C++ time, that's all you get at the wheel. And of course he goes around and tells you what to do, but in order to get the feel, there's nothing he can do, right? He just says, okay, feel it, okay, until you get it right. And that takes a long time until you say, oh, now it's different. It's not different. It's different. Okay. So, and that takes a long time to get. And it is exactly the same in 2B, because there's only so much I can do when I guide you into these forests and trails and say, all right, now you're going to feel some pain, okay? Or you're going to feel something here, okay? But I can't do anything for you, because you got to start feeling it yourself. But you have to keep at it. And the only way you could have come this far is to apply yourself outside of the 2 hours of our classes, or whatever the mandatory time is, okay? I know from experience that very few people in 2B have succeeded who just come to it from time to time, right? Unless they already know something like Python and saying, okay, I just need to know the C++ syntax. That's what most students, they can't do that, in my opinion. So 2B is actually very challenging, because it is the same thing as physical memory. It's I think neural memory, something like that, okay? It just takes a long time of being exposed to the same thing over and over again. So the action potentials build up over time, right? Some chemical, whatever it is. So I'm very pleased that you have come this far, which basically speaks to me of the fact that you have been applying yourself to this outside of class hours, okay, and thinking about it and talking about it, because otherwise there's no way, unless you bought the solution or copied solutions, which seems very doubtful for most of you, right? There's no way you could have come this far. So I'm very, very happy to see all of that, and I hope to have all of you in. Well, I actually see every single one of you in my 2C section also. So really, I am speaking to preaching to the core, as they say. But if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, even though we sign off now, I think I'm going to have another poll and another meeting. I'm thinking Monday, 1 p.m. seems to work for most people. But we'll have to have another poll, because we have new students and all, right? So we'll continue to have these meetings. So maybe we'll just not meet over spring break, okay? Unless you absolutely want to, right? And then we'll meet again after the spring quarter starts. So if you have anything to update each other with, I'm happy to turn it around. The list I have in front of me, I'll read it out before I hand it over to you. Otherwise, if you have any questions for me, I'm happy to answer them before I turn it over to you.
I actually have a question.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
So like when we are like, because I read that the scoreboard for the quests, like it gets
Thank you.
cleared, like it gets cleared every quarter. So would we have to like resubmit our quests when 2C
No, I got your
starts?
point. So Thursday, no, I'm going to freeze everything. No, I'm going to freeze. Yeah, maybe today, later today, I'll transfer all the scores to Canvas. Yeah, all the eligible scores I'll transfer to Canvas, and then the /Q site will get over it on the 1st of April. Yeah, at the end of April, you won't be able to type in your student ID and see your scores anymore. Although you're welcome to submit it again. Same source code. I think okay. This is what I should do. Okay, what I should do is, even if I change anything in the quest, if I change anything fundamental in the quest, I'll have to give it a new animal and a new name. So that if you have the animal code, I think it should still work for most of them. Same points.
Okay, thank you.
So I have a question about how unfreezing works after completing quest 9. So after we complete quest 9,
I'm sorry,
do we need
Jian,
to
what
go
did you
back?
say? What was that again? Sorry.
Like how unfreezing works after completing quest 9. So
Oh, if you have completed quest 9 until the final exam, if you've already completed quest 9, okay, until the final, just go and polish up any score you have.
So do we need to go back to the previous
Yeah,
quest
just
to submit?
resubmit. If you only got 18 before you got the password for something else, you can go back to that and make that a 22 or 25 or whatever it is.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Actually, I kind of want to follow up on that as well, because I've actually just been going on and getting every trophy before moving on. Like, would I still need to resubmit?
No, if it shows up in the /Q site, I'll just pick it up from there.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Anything that shows up in the /Q site, I'll just pick it up from there. Okay. And most of you guys, I just remember by name. Even I don't even need to look at the student ID and all. Yeah. So I'll just pick it up from there. /Q sometime this week. Today I think I'll just transfer the scores from /Q to Canvas today, and then at the end of the quarter, after the final, I'll just transfer all of them to my spreadsheet and work my magic there. I think that should do it. Yeah. Quest 9. If you complete quest 9, you can just polish up. Yeah. I wanted to say something. Thank goodness I remembered. If you already have a score in a previous quest, okay, and you want to improve the score, before you submit it with your student ID, submit it with anonymously or with student ID -test or something like that. So you don't accidentally. So suppose you introduced a bug, okay, and you broke something fundamental. Right, and then you clobbered the score in your student ID, and then you'll spend like 20 minutes pulling your hair out, trying to think, what the hell was it that I broke? Yes. So do if you're trying to improve your previous scores, do it anonymously first, and then when you're confident and happy that you got more points, then you can submit with your student ID. All right, maybe this is one of the cases where anonymous solutions are actually useful.
I have a question
Any other
about
questions?
the final exam.
George, yeah.
Will it cover everything that we?
Everything, every single thing,
Okay.
yeah. Everything starting from day one. Yeah, I mean, most of it. I mean, what? Most of it is, right? Everything up to the middle of the up to the midterm, you've been using on a pretty much daily basis, right? In the later quests, in tries, for example, you have to use every single thing, right? And if you've crossed tries, then that pretty much means you can do these things in your sleep, I think, or maybe with a little bit more practice. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure you'll get there. Yeah, everything. I don't know, Michael. Yeah, okay. Well, I think the truth is that my question bank is highly contaminated with Michael's questions, because it's really hard to throw away his questions. Some of them are very nice. And he had a tendency to weight his questions for the final in the second half. So yeah, he had first 6 weeks questions were first 6 weeks topics in the midterm, and then the final was not entirely the second 6 weeks, but weighted more. But then I've not been doing that. So even though I don't have a lot of Michael questions, no, I have a lot of Michael questions, but I don't know, there's some proportion there. So you may find questions weighted towards the second half of the course. I don't know if it should matter. That's, maybe I shouldn't even have brought it up. It shouldn't matter, right? Because the goal is not to ace the exam. The goal is to learn these things. If you have any other, questions, concept issues, any things that you're unclear on and you think you could do with a better explanation of it, if I happen to know, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I'll just turn it over to Jason, who's in my top left. Okay, Jason, Jiang, Walter, Riley, George, Anne, Gerald, Soon, Sinchi, Evelyn. Everybody's got their order? Hey, Evelyn, your camera is, okay now. Because, I think for a very long time, even last week, your camera, someone else's also was pointing upwards into the ceiling or something like that, mostly. But this is great. Everybody is on screen. So is that okay, Jason? Can we basically start? I can just turn it over to you. Everybody okay so far? Good? Yeah? All right. So last one out, you can just call me to turn off the lights, and I'll probably see most of you guys again in a few weeks. Yeah? All right. Okay, Jason, it's all yours now. Thank you all.
All right, so this week I made a fish.
Okay, so I've been questing a lot for the past week, and I'm glad I finally got the full points on quest 4. So I'm currently working on quest 8, so 2 to go before the exam on Thursday. Hopefully I can get to finish 9 before Thursday, and that's it.
Yeah, I'm just sort of studying for the final and obviously for other classes as well. Just hoping to finish up and then I'll get back to the questing during spring break.
Oh yeah, me too. Just studying for the final. Pretty much no update this week.
I'll be studying the final as well, and I'll try to ace more quests before the final.
So I just need to post my pretty picture and see if I can get that draggy drop thing to work. That's pretty much me.
Hey, Gerald.
Hi, sorry. Yeah, for this week, I just finished my quest 9, and I'm looking forward to study for the exam, and hopefully I do well.
So last week I finished quests 8 and 9, and I'm still kind of thinking about what I should draw for the pretty picture, but I'm mainly focusing on studying for the final.
Yeah, I'm pretty much still studying on every final still, and also since most of you guys are going to take 1C in next quarter, right? But I'm not, because I'm going to transfer. So I'm kind of sad that I might not see you guys again. So, but I still really appreciate every meeting that we had been done in these weeks. So wish everyone do good on your finals, and including me for sure. Yeah, that's all.
Sinchi, you said 1C instead of 2C, or did
Oh.
you?
1C?
You
Oh yeah,
didn't-
the 1CL is Java. Yeah, it's 2C. Yeah.
Evelyn, I think you're the last.
I'm just trying to ace all my quests and probably studying for the final.
Great, awesome. Hey, George, you're there. All right, cool. I'm very pleased with your progress, and Evelyn, your sunflower, with your final picture, that was very nice too. I think did someone post? Yeah. I think there was a bee and all after that, so it's really cool. Yeah, I like the activity and your creative input. So I'll just turn it over to you guys now, and you can just have a free form conversation and schedule things if you want.
I have one more question.
Yeah, sure, George.
It's about the trophies. So
About the what?
trophies.
Oh yeah.
So the maximum is 2 through 5, but there are more. So is that counted as extra credit?
No, yeah. Anything more, you'll just get clipped down to 2 to 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you can still get more if you want. It's
So there's no extra credit if
yeah,
go
it'll
above.
be topped. It'll be capped at 225,
Oh, okay. Thank you.
and it should be possible to get 225 for sure. All right. Do you guys want to talk? And or if you just want to end the meeting right now, that's fine too. But if you just want to talk, I'll just turn around and the last one off, can call me.
I think I'm gonna go look at some of the modules and just review some of the earlier stuff. So thank you guys all for the meeting, and good luck to everyone.
Great. Thank you, Walter. Yeah. See you soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out too. So
All
thank
right.
you
So why don't we end the meeting?
so fun.
All right. How about we just end the meeting?
Wait, I just want
to. Yeah.
I just want to share a discovery I made. I've discovered that the Zoom API is coded in C or C++. Haven't figured out what yet, but now I have a plan. I'm going to make my own. I think this might be over the break. I think I'm gonna attempt to make my own Zoom interface.
So yeah, so Jason, I'm not quite sure what you mean by the API coded in.
I'm looking at I got bored, so I'm looking at the like this is like I think this is a bit before the class. So I was kind of bored, so I started looking into the Zoom documentation for like the app.
Mm-hmm.
So
for the app, you mean?
Yeah, for the app. So you can
yeah, okay.
It's made so you can like make your own stuff, and it's in C or C++. I can't figure out which one, but it looks like one of the two. So that means I can code the UI.
Oh, I see. So basically, they've provided the Zoom SDK in those two languages.
This is definitely something that's not going to be a bad idea. This is definitely a good idea.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to experiment with the public API, the libraries, software SDKs, basically SDKs.
Yeah.
But if you were to ask me for a suggestion, but that one's really cool. Given me that is. So and where's Ronaldo? He's not here. Unreal, I would recommend for you guys. Okay, if you want to get into learn a library and in C++, which lets you do some really cool stuff. It is Unreal, and you can build a game like Fortnite, right? Actually, you can. Actually, you can, because Unreal comes with tutorials created by Unreal that show you how you can create a game like Fortnite. In fact, you can create an island and things like that, and you can do all that with C++ and a visual representation of C++. So now that you guys are comfortable with C++, and a lot of you have expressed interest in gaming and getting into the gaming development community, this would be a fantastic opportunity for you, right? Especially since, I think, it's my gut feeling, right? Apple will come out with VR, and they may have their own SDK, but it's going to have similarities at the very least, if they don't buy Unreal, that is, right, or Epic. I'm pretty sure the SDK that Apple or Google or Microsoft come up with, they'll all be very similar, right? They have different, all right, I'm sorry, bye, and there'll just be different syntactic sugar here and there, but most of them, it's going to be the same. So I think if you just pick up one, you're essentially picking up all. So this would be a good opportunity for you, especially as you're doing cs2c, because you can play with some of your cs2c algorithms in stuff that you're creating in Unreal. in C++, linking it into your game, and see how you can turn each quest into a game in with Oculus, right? And the same thing can be done, replicated when Apple VR comes out. So this would be a great time for you to get into that area, right? Because that would really be computer science. That would still be computer science, not machine learning and data engineering, which is more like empirical science, right? Because this is really, you're programming exactly what you want to see. And so, yeah, and you're not measuring, tolerances. Cool. All right, so that's my 2 cents. But trying to figure out the Zoom API, that's actually fantastic too, right? If you can get that to go and you have our own kind of meeting, maybe we can use that in future cs2b meetings, right? Through Foothill, and you'll be a past student of cs2b, right? A past student of Foothill created a Zoom-like app, which basically Foothill uses instead of Zoom. How cool is that, right? If you can do something like that. And because you think about it, if you look at all the previous the history of Foothill, you'll see at our all college-wide meetings and all, we always give special place to products developed by students, and we use them too, right? And in fact, our signatures from presidents and executives used to say, hear the name pronounced, click here, and this is a company developed by a past Foothill student, and things like that, right? And Foothill encourages things like that. All right, cool. Anyway, enough of blubbering on and on. So I'm very happy. Please do try all these different things, right? The reason I was really confused when Jason originally said API was because he was talking about the web API, which is REST, but he's talking about the SDK. So cool, great. By all means, play with these things. Thank you all so much for being my student. And I think this is the end of class, and we will see each other hopefully in a couple of weeks. All right. Okay, best of luck for your finals.